Hey guys, it's Alex here, and today I've got another After Effects tutorial for you. And today I'm going to be going over lights in After Effects and how they can be used to create some really nice effects. And because I've watched a lot of tutorials and I've never seen anyone actually go over lights in After Effects, and they never seem to be used that much, but they're actually quite interesting. You can create some quite cool effects. So as you can see, I made an intro a while back. And this was only in After Effects, and I used lights to create these sort of gradients and blending the colors in on the text, as you'll see in a second when I show you a quick preview. And that's what I'm just going to go over today, and also some maybe extra features with some optical flares, and also maybe making some 3D text as well. So if we just take a quick look at my intro that I made. So as you can see, we've got this yellow sort of glow, orange glow, and then we've got a blue glow, and you can see how it affects the text, and it slowly blends together. So that's what I'm going to be going over today. So if we go into After Effects, and now I have got my new computer finally, a long-awaited thing, and I've got my new monitor as well, 24-inch, and it's finally nice to have After Effects CS6 as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a new composition. I'm just going to make it 1280 by 720. It doesn't matter what length really. And I'm going to make a new text layer. And I'm going to maybe call this tutorial. Sorry for the loud keyboard. And we can just press S on our keyboard, scale it up a bit, something like that. Center it up. And then what we can go ahead and do, we can go ahead and create a new light. I recommend you put it on point, and we can call this orange light, and we can make the intensity 100 and just select maybe an orange color, and we can click OK. So now this is going to create a new light. Now you'll see that nothing happens, but what we'll do is we're going to set up our scene first before we start changing anything. So we're now going to press Control D and duplicate the light a second time, and we can call this one blue light. Click enter, and then we can click AA on our keyboards, and then we can change the color maybe to a nice light blue like that. So now we have these set up. Now what we can do is we can go layer new and make a new null object. We can call this orange control. Now this is just going to make it easier for us to control our lights, so we can click P on the orange light and then P on the orange control. Let's move this below, and then we can then just click Alt and then click on the stopwatch of the position of the orange light, and then grab this little pigwit tool and pigwit it to the orange control like that, and then click out. And now that's taking the position of our orange control, and we can also just make that 3D. And I'm just going to do that again quickly. Sorry about this. So make sure you make the null 3D first, because then we can get some 3D data as well. Then we can now make another new null object for the blue. And we can rename this blue control. Again, I apologize for the keyboard. I need to get a new keyboard. It's just a standard Dell keyboard at the moment. And we're going to click position or P on our keyboard to get up both of the positions, and we're going to click Alt, click on the blue light position, pig whip it to our position of our blue control, and click out. So now we have set up our scene. And now what I'm going to do, what we can do is to make the light actually affect our text layer. We can then make this a 3D object by clicking this 3D cube here. Now I've actually got Retrace 3D on at the minute, so it's going to take a bit longer to render, but we can do some nice things in CS6. So if you don't have CS6, after this you won't be able to do it, but I definitely recommend you get CS6 because there are some really nice features in this. Actually, what I probably could do is I could turn it off, but we'll just leave it for now. It's best for me just to leave it. Yeah, the problem with Retrace 3D is it takes a long time to render, so I'm just going to put it back to classic 3D for now. So then we're not going to have a long render time. Now you can see that our tutorial has gone black, and we need to make sure that our lights are on. And I think I know the reason, and that is if we go to our top view by going here, the lights actually need to be, at the moment they're right then next to it, the text there, but we just need to push these forward a bit. So now we need to go on the controls, so we just scoop these forward a bit that way, like that. Now if we go to our active camera, you can see we start to get this. But now what we can do is say I'm going to move the blue over to this side. Wait. So I can move it over maybe here. Put that on the edge there. I can get the orange and move it the other way. Doesn't want to move. Being a bit of a pain. So we can just scoop this over and again play around with it, and then we could maybe click AA on both of the lights like this, and then we could put up the intensity maybe 200. Try that. Yeah, maybe 200, just so we get a bit more vivid colors. And then a really nice technique that I used in my intro was that we could then, there's this, if we make now if you have optical flares, I recommend you do this because it will really emphasize the lights. So what we can do is we can make a new solid. We can call this Optical Flares. Click OK, and we can go to our effects and presets, type in Optical Flares, and drag that onto our Optical Flares there. Take a bit to load, but there we go. We can put this, or we can go F4 on our keyboard and make the transfer mode add, so we have no black background. And now what we can do is, well, actually we'll go select a flare first. So I don't know, I'll just use a preset or something. I haven't really looked through them. So maybe the gold, we could get the golden sun, take off some of these irises, so we don't need them all. Maybe we could then go over to the side. Well, I'll just leave it there for now. You can play around with it and just click OK. So now we have our optical flare here, but what we can do is we can go to the positioning mode, and we can change this to track lights. So what this is going to do is going to track our lights, and it's going to take the colors and the data of our lights and track it. So now we have these, so it's followed our lights, and now you'll be able to see is if I go, say, move my blue control, you can see that the optical flare follows the light. So you could do quite a lot with this, and what we'll just do is we will put the scale down to maybe 50, like that, and then we can maybe put some flicker on, drop down here, maybe put it 25 for the speed. Actually no, we'll put it at the speed of 10, and then maybe the amount at 25. So that's just gonna give it some animation. You can see how it moves. And we could also put the intensity, well, we could, I think we could scale up our tutorial layer actually. It's looking a bit small. And center it up. So now you can see it sort of blends really nicely with each other. And then if you do have CS6, what we could then do is we can go click on our classic 3D thing here, and we can change this to Retrace 3D, and just make sure it's maybe on 1 for now, just the ray trace quality. Obviously when you come to render you want to maybe put it up a bit, but for now, just while you're working with it, you want to keep it down at a draft level, because otherwise it will take a long time to render. And what this will do is it's going to give us some geometry options, and we can put the extrusion depth up to maybe 50. So it's going to make this 3D, and we could put a bevel on it, maybe angular, and like that. And then now what we can do is we can create a new camera, and we can go to the orbit tool by go to this little camera, hold click and click on the orbit tool, or just press C and cycle through them. And now what we can do is we can rotate around, and as you can see our optical flares are in 3D space, and they are affecting the text as we move around. So you could create some really nice things. You could animate the camera maybe coming in, so we could do a position. We just click P and we could position it, just put that to the start, we could go forward maybe to here, 2 seconds, and we'll go for 1.5 seconds, and then we can rotate down to, or we could just go, actually we could right click, go transform, and then reset, so that will reset it to there, and then we could, I don't know, if I just do a quick RAM preview, hopefully it will be quick. It'll be ready. Well, I'll just put the quality down for a bit, I'll just put it on 3rd. And as you can see, you could create some really nice effects with this, and something I'm definitely going to play around with, and that's just basically a quick overview of lights in After Effects, and how you can use them in different ways. As I said, I never see a lot of people actually using them, and I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do some tutorials on lights and like glossy materials in Cinema 4D. So if you like that, then give this video a like, because it helps me out a lot, and that will give me a good clear indicator that you want a tutorial. So that is about all for today, guys. I got a new microphone, and I hope my voice is a bit more clear and there's a bit more clarity to it. And that is all. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video.